Yeah.
He calls us to be generous givers.
Yeah.
Give with a generous heart.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, it actually reminds me of King David.
Yeah.
And this is kind of something I've been pondering this week too, is he kind of had a standard of excellence.
Yeah.
Like, if he not only was good with his sling. What do you call this? I cannot think of this word. Was it a sling? Isn't sling? Okay, I don't know why that was so weird in my head. He wasn't just good at his sling. He was also good with music.
Yeah.
And so it seems to me that he had some sort of just standard operating. I will be excellent at whatever my hand finds to do.
Yeah.
Now it is interesting that he was good enough with his music that the king took notice.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating. Like, and he could not have just gotten good enough to play for just his sheep.
Yeah.
Like, if he was just playing up in the hills with his sheep, nobody would have known.
Yeah.
So he must have had an audience at some point.
Yeah.
Otherwise they would never have known. So he just had a standard operating procedure of be excellent.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this, and as I was doing my dishes, and I go, what if I did that? I was like, what would that mean for me as I do my dishes? And I go, well, for one, I do my dishes and clean the kitchen as 75% clean is sufficient.
Yeah.
And that's my standard operating procedure. That's good enough. And so I was doing my dishes, and I go, if I were to be excellent and build a character of excellence and being exceptional, then as I do my dishes, as one of the things that I can do, well, what would that mean for my dishes? Well, that means the counters are clean. That means I'd actually wash the windowsill that's got dirt on it, and that wouldn't be there. And then I'm putting away Tupperware, and I just
go over.
He hasn't yet.
Head first. He was heading. I don't think he could, but.
Yeah, he hasn't yet. Yeah. So
But
and
that's really good.
yeah, and then I was like, I put a Tupperware and I threw it in there, and I'm like, that's not excellent.
Yeah.
I was gonna slam the door quick so it just didn't fall out. And so I picked it up, put it where it actually belongs so it fit properly, and I was like, okay. And in this, and deciding to be excellent in just these little ways helps me with the purpose I have chosen.
Yeah.
Like, if I can be excellent in a daily way.
In your home.
In my home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will preface that does not mean I am saying that my house has to be immaculate. 75% clean for my house is fine. I'm not putting that on myself. That is too much. But it helps me with my greater purpose, like my purpose of teaching for people's health. By building a standard of excellence and practicing it, I help doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm reinforcing it by telling people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is a way that is one way we can renew our minds. It's just tell people what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you reinforce the pathway of this is what I'm doing. Like I told one of my other people that the other day. Hey, this is what I'm doing.
Has David noticed?
Oh, heck no. I implemented the whole dishes at 5. I do dishes at 5 because David would come home from work and then he'd do dishes. And I just wanted him to come home and feel like he was just like it was comfortable to walk in the house and he didn't feel like he'd have to get undressed and then go do dishes. And so it was a bit of I have a little bit of push motivation, a bit of pull motivation, and a reason to be doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling people, and these 3 things, it makes it easier to do new things and implement new things when you do that.
I remember out on the farm, Ron saying to me one time, he said, you know what the best part of my day is? And I said, no, what? He said, coming home and knowing that you'll be there.
Mm.
And then usually I would have a meal, because I like to cook and he liked to eat. And he said that was the best part of his day was coming home. And that brings me such great joy now, you know, that I made it comfortable for him to come home to. Because in the early part of our marriage, I was always griping and complaining. So he would come home to this crabby, griping, complaining woman. But I learned.
I really want to know how you learned that.
The hard way.
What's the hard way? What's the hard way?
It's just because every time I was griping and complaining, things would go wrong. And then I didn't have a peace. And I didn't, you know, if you don't have a peace here, then you don't give peace away. You can't give what you don't have. Mm-hmm. And I found out if I was serving a meal, like I love to entertain, if I was serving a meal and I was like Martha, I was so busy that I wasn't giving forth any peace. I wasn't making people feel comfortable. And I've learned the hard way that if I want people to enjoy being in my home, I had to start out peaceful. Yeah. And present a peaceful meal and keep myself at peace. And then you can minister peace to others. Mm-hmm. People love to come. Yeah.
My acreage is very peaceful, and I don't think I did that. I have a feeling somebody did it before me, and that's why it's peaceful. Like, they just... Oh, that's just me.
It could just be, you know, God's showing up because a little family lives there that he loves. And I don't know how much Ron was at your place a lot. Yeah. And I don't know how much praying he did.
I appreciate it.
But he was always a man of peace. You know, he never ever caused strife anywhere. And he loved to go help people.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. We certainly used his help often. Okay. So then, I wanted to go a little bit more, go to the next verse of my chapter, Romans 6, which is, where is it? I lost it. 11. Oh, no, 12. So it says, in Romans 6:12, it says, let not sin, therefore reign in your mortal body to make you obey its passions. So what he's saying, how can reign, how can let and make be in the same verse? And I mentioned this to you the other day.
What verse is
that? That is 12.
12, okay.
How can let and make be in the same verse? And it's because I'm just driving home this point we keep talking about. It is because we choose the king that we serve, or the default king, that if we don't choose another one, of flesh, that is the default king. But if we set up a new king, it has its own laws. And so whatever king you follow, they make you obey the laws. So you can choose your king, you have to follow their laws. And that's why you see people who really struggle with their eating habits, like I did with sugar. Like you could not put sugar in front of me and I would not eat it. Like I'd have to. Like there was no other option. Everybody was like, "Oh, sugar's fine in moderation." Not for me. I couldn't not eat it because I served this. If I want it, I should have it right now, king. That's default. So we can switch our kings. Now, I have decided that what I would like to see is every single one of you, as your homework, is to tell me what king you want to serve. And it has to do with your definition of exceptional. And your definition of, I got distracted. What? And it has to do with your definition of exceptional and how you want to do that. So there are 3 ways that we can choose to be exceptional, or 3 things that keep us from being exceptional. And the reason we are trying to be exceptional is because in order to be exceptional, our health often, it's required that we have to be healthy in order to be exceptional. It becomes, so like if you don't like how you look in the mirror and you have an exceptional goal, like if I don't like how I look in the mirror and I want to be in front of people and I have this like crippling self-doubt, will I ever be in front of people? No. So if I become healthy, for one, and I changed my identity in Christ so that it's I am who God says I am, fix those things, now I can do it. So it's a necessity, and that's why we want to choose to be exceptional. We want to choose to do king, which helps us please God and serve people. That's the umbrella term. And I'm going to keep repeating this in as many different ways as I can find, because that is all over the Bible.
I found that when I was in front of people more, if I put myself together, I did the best I could at home, just to put myself together, spend a little time with the Lord, that when I was in front of people, then I could forget about myself. I wasn't worried, okay, is this okay, and is this okay? I got my eyes off of me, and I could get my eyes on the people, so that whatever I was doing, whatever I was presenting, it wasn't me, it was letting the Lord work through me. Just get your eyes off of self.
Get your eyes off of self. Yeah. Okay. So then, what are the 3 things that prevent us from even knowing what we are supposed to be exceptional at? And I'm very curious, what are your guys, oh, never mind, I can't go there. I was going to ask, what's the basic definition of exceptional? What do you think the word exceptional is? Let's define our terms.
I think it's above and beyond just normal.
Yeah. Unique.
A
unique form
and
of
the calling. We're not just called to be normal. God wants to put his super on our normal. Or not natural, but he wants to put his super on our natural. So that just brings us up a little higher.
Yeah. I like it. What about, what do you think? How do you think of it being exceptional?
Well, even going beyond doing your best, just that one step beyond.
Yeah.
And then you attain that, then it's like, oh,
It's possible.
it's possible. And then God just shows you something else, and you take that next step.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, here's the goal, here's the exception. Okay, I've got to get, in order for me to be exceptional, I've got to move from here to here fast. No, he takes us one level at a time, or one step at a time. And sometimes we go up here, and then we may go back a step or two. But then, yeah, I think
it's a process.
Yeah,
You don't get automatically there. And I think that's the beautiful part of it. What he really cares about is our growth.
Yeah.
And so he wants us to be healthy and beautiful and as he is, a mirror image of him. And if we're not growing, we can't accomplish that. And that's the other point of choosing to be exceptional. It forces growth. Forces it so that we grow, and our less desirable characteristics can be worked on. So one of the first things that keeps us from even knowing how to be exceptional is we've never thought about it. That's really a basic one. We've never thought about it, and if you don't take enough time to think about it, or you can't come up with an answer, your first solution is usually, I'll pick something small and safe. I think that's what Kendra did the other day. I was looking at this and she goes, I want to be really good at the daycare. And I don't think that's wrong to be doing that. I think she could accomplish it in like a month.
Yeah.
And so you have a month of growth. How far is that going to get you? So the solution is she just has never thought about what's next. Like, what's next? What's next? What do you want to, what's next? And you just keep asking that until they give you like a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? What's next? So I'm sad that she was not here today because this was very specifically for here, but we'll just have that conversation again next week. The second thing that keeps us from even picking how to be exceptional. What? No. You already took the shark home and didn't bring it back. So the second thing is that we do not value what we currently have.
Mm.
And there is a wonderful story in the Bible about that. Do you remember the widow with the oil?
Yeah.
She goes to Elisha, and that's in 2 Kings 4, but you're going to read it on your own time. 2 Kings 4, she goes to Elijah and goes, oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. We'll bring it next time, and then you can pray. Okay, so she goes to Elisha and goes, my husband died, and the debtor's coming to make my sons slaves. And he goes, what do you want me to do about it? That's what he says, in not so many words. He goes, what do you have in the house? And her words, she says, nothing but a small pot of oil. She did not value what she had in the house. And it was the very thing God used to redeem her story. And multiplied. Yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah.
As far as her faith, as many jars as she collected.
Yeah. So there's actually, I looked this up earlier. There is a wonderful like business strategy in what Elisha told her to do. He told her, what do you have? Go see if other people need that by collecting empty jars. And then develop yourself. Close yourself in, develop it, and do it with your sons.
Yeah.
Like these are develop yourself for your purpose and do it with other people. Like don't try to do this by yourself. Specifically with your family. And then he tells her, okay, go sell it. Well, there was a weird little thing. She ran out of jars. And ChatGPT told me this because I saw this pattern and I was like, what else is there? And it said there's a principle of like your ability to plan is often what limits you. So if she had gotten more jars, she'd have gotten more oil.
Mama?
It didn't run out until no, Isaiah, we're
Until
talking.
she quit
Till she
collecting
quit.
jars.
Till there was not a jar more. And then it dried up. So your ability to plan affects your future. And then she used the oil to pay off her debts and live on the rest. And I imagine that what Elisha taught her was not just effective for that moment. She didn't just use what she learned to, oh, I made enough and then I made enough for the rest of my life and I'm comfortable. I imagine she goes, you taught me business principles and now I'm going to go apply what you taught me. And I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So we have to look around and like just look at what we have and go, Lord, what am I missing that I already have? And then go develop it for the sake of other people. And that's how we please God and serve people. And then the third thing that keeps us from even knowing what to be exceptional at is a bit unrelated, but I ran into it twice now. I have 7 people that I have on a phone call. I ran into it twice. They are so stretched thin that they cannot even contemplate a new future, like how to be exceptional. They are in a literal survival mode, and they just cannot see a way. There's nothing in their life that they want so badly that it pulls at them. And I was talking to one of my sisters about this, and she goes, well, the solution isn't that hard. She goes, because she's in the same spot. And I made a future plan to fix what's not working right now. And then she does one thing that moves the needle for her health specifically. And she's like, that is way more freeing than you have to do this and you have to go running and you have to do this. No, make a future plan. If you're looking at your life and you're like, there's nothing I want that can help me with my health, that it's okay.
Yeah.
You need a future plan to fix what's not working and then implement later. And that's okay.
So how would you run that? I mean, word that as running on, I mean.
Survival mode doesn't help you be exceptional.
Okay.
If you can't find, I don't know how to word that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Now, I do know that it is possible to be in survival mode and still make headways because of something you want so badly. And ask me how I know.
Yeah.
You tried it.
I'm doing it. I don't sleep at night. And we're fine. I want this. I started a business 7 days before he was born. I made it a legitimate business. And it has been a delight because we don't sleep at night. This has probably been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and yet I am the most fulfilled I have ever been in my life. Having purpose. Creation, connection, and contribution. The 3 C's of purpose.
I'm gonna write that down.
I didn't come up with that, but creation, connection, and contribution. That's a Myron Golden thing.
Creation.
Connection.
Connection
And contribution.
and contribution. But what I've seen in you in these last few months, I see that you look healthier,
Oh yeah.
that you are a better weight, and I see you smiling, I see you happier.
Yeah.
Than I've seen you before, and you didn't know which way to go.
Right. It's amazing what some purpose will do.
Yeah.
Even though this is really hard.
Yeah.
It's amazing what some purpose will do. Like me with my first kid, that was horrible. I was not mentally okay, and yet this is harder, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So then my goal is for each of you, how do you define exceptional for yourself? Pick something that you can be exceptional at. Carol, do you have any ideas right now that requires you to be, that still requires the growth that God desires us to have?
You know, since Ron died, I just really didn't have, I couldn't imagine going forward. And so for those first few years of grief, and I just realized just this week, I was talking with some people, we were talking about our dogs. And I had to give up my dog too. And I thought, you know, I even grieved my dog. Not only my husband and the farmhouse, but I was grieving my dog. And I thought, once I recognized that, and then I could say, okay, I can let that go. You know, that's not a part of my future. I don't want a dog in an apartment. That's not fair to a dog. And I'd have to go clean up the poop, and I'm not going to do that. On the farm, you let the dog go, and he goes out in the back 40. You know, I never had to clean it up. So I feel like I've come through the grieving process pretty well. I'm ready to explore what does God, because I realize He's not done with me. See, and I wanted to just sit down and sit back, and I'm done. I'm old.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything anymore. And God's not letting me do that.
No. He gave you the foresight to see that whatever they were feeding you up there was not good for you.
Exactly.
And otherwise you might be in a different situation.
Yeah.
And in exactly the one you would have wanted.
And
at
the
that
first
point.
year, though, I ate that food, and I needed that fellowship with those people. That first year, just to survive, got me out of the apartment, got me talking and eating, which I might not have done.
Yeah.
So it's okay, and the doctor said it's okay to put on some weight. As you get old, it'll benefit you. So he says, don't worry about your weight. You're okay. I'm within reason.
Yeah.
So I haven't dieted, you know.
Don't bring it home. Don't bring
But
it
I
home.
definitely have changed my eating habits and staying away from a lot of the group activities where it's just all old people. I feel like I'm in a nursing home, and I'm not ready for a nursing home.
Yeah, at home. Yeah. All right, can you keep playing? Perfect. Do you have any inklings of ideas what you could be exceptional at the moment?
What I have found this past 6 months is ministering to other widows.
Okay.
And I'm meeting with one on Monday. She's been calling me, and she's just a brand new widow. And I've known her for 50 years. And she says, I see how you have handled it. And so she wants to spend some time with me. And so we're going to have a coffee date on Monday. And then I have a cousin who's a new widow, and she's just in the 60s. And she keeps coming. We get together quite often, and she keeps saying, you don't know how much you mean to me to help me get through this. And she realized that she was clinging to her husband. She couldn't let him go. And she said the Lord spoke to her and said, don't cling to him, to your husband. Cling to me, Jesus.
Go to the other side.
And she said that just opened her
Go
eyes.
to the other side.
And she was able to release her husband.
Yeah. God replaced her husband with himself.
Yeah.
Mama,
So, and there's
so
other,
heavy.
there's a number, 5 or 6 widows that are in my life.
Mama.
So that's one area.
Mama.
What does, if you were to be exceptional at it, what would that mean for you?
Being able to encourage them.
Okay.
Because if God can get me through it, He can get them through it.
Yeah.
And not just somehow, but victoriously.
Yeah. Creation connection and contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know how this grows you at some point. That could be fascinating. What about you, Daleen? What are you thinking?
Whoa.
Oh, what am I thinking? I'm not really sure. I'm still, yeah. I think I just, I could just being exceptional at, even just trying to listen to the voice of God. I don't think that's a possibility. I mean, that doesn't really quite, but just listening and moving in the direction that He's telling me.
What if choosing to be exceptional first is how you do that?
Yeah,
Like, does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
I don't know how to describe that more than that.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem. I think things, but I don't. I can't communicate what I'm saying. I get things in my mind. I get things, rolling in my mind and thinking, but I just can't verbalize it or visualize it. Really, just.
One thing you do well though is our Tuesday afternoon Bible study.
Yeah.
That you always come prepared and you always get everybody involved.
Yeah.
And encourage others to pray and
Yeah.
get into the Word. And you always do a good job in leading us.
I appreciate that. And I think that's kind of the things, what can I be doing better to make that even make it, I could study more. I could spend a little bit more time studying my lessons, doing my,
Mama.
and be more exceptional.
That didn't work for me.
It did. You got it up before. You'll have to try again.
Oh, I can't. It's too hard. Mama.
Yeah, I think you should probably just need more time to think about it.
Yeah.
Like
Mama.
define it as visually as you possibly could. Like,
Yeah.
if you got to a moment in your life where, like, this is what I wanted 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Visualize it. Like, is this where I want to be? Like, what is that moment?
Yeah.
Because then we get a really clear, defined picture.
It's too hard for kids.
Yeah.
Mama, this side is
So
too
then-
hard.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yes, I just need to
Can't get that up.
try to visualize more. Just, yeah.
Yeah, well, as like Kim was doing last week, she has some idea what she wants for her future. Like she wants to be a missionary, but it's so
Mama.
unclearly defined.
Mama.
She doesn't even know how to get it.
Is she the one that the pastor prayed for
Mama.
at
Yes.
the altar?
Yes.
And he had a really good word for her.
Did
Somewhere
you?
else.
Is that on Sunday when I deigned not to show up?
That he had this altar call and
Mom,
she
sit
went up
something
and
else.
he singled her
Mama.
out.
Sit
That was Saturday
something
night, I
else.
think.
Mom, sit
Yeah, because I don't think he had an
something
altar
else.
call on Sunday.
No, no, you didn't know. So it had been Saturday night.
Saturday night.
I
Okay.
don't like
He
this
singled her
like
out
this side.
and gave her
Mama,
a
like
really
this
good word.
side.
What was it?
I can't remember all the.
Mama, our
that
side,
God was
our side
calling
is
her.
too
First he
hard
asked,
for
do you
kids.
know the Lord Jesus? And she said, oh yes.
Yeah.
And he said, well, God is calling you. You know, he has some good plans for you as a young person. But he was saying, in this church, the youth in this church need you. And that you will have some ministry in this church. And so David was like, oh no, it's not going to be this church.
Not gonna be this.
And I said, well, David,
This is true.
might not be. He said that the guy really missed it. And I said, maybe, but maybe not. She is at an age, she doesn't have to stay.
No,
She's old
he
enough
doesn't.
to step out on her own.
Mhm.
She just has to figure out, is she 18, 19?
I think she's 18.
18.
That she could get a job and support herself and still have a ministry.
Yeah, so last week I told her she needs to define her future by finding somebody, like you remember that,
Mm-hmm.
by finding somebody who is doing what she wants to do. So then she can take their life and go, how did they get there?
Yeah.
And then what characteristics do they need? What characteristic does that person have that she needs to develop?
Yeah.
And then if she'd have been here today, we could have been like, okay, what were the characteristics?
Yeah.
what were they doing? What are you doing right now that helps you develop those things?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it can be really dumb things like me and my dishes. Like,
But what an eye opener.
yeah.
You know?
And what more effective is it shows you what you're currently doing that will never get you the future you want.
Yeah.
That is what's more effective. Like I've had people throw out, of my 7 people, 2 of them have thrown out, they're like taken down their TV and canceled their subscription. Because they realize
They've what?
they've canceled their
TV?
Yeah, they canceled their subscription to their streaming service
Oh,
because it's a distraction
okay.
and it will never get them what they want.
And they can't just turn it off?
What do you mean?
I turned mine
Yeah.
off.
I think that's the same with the sugar thing. Like for some people that's
Maybe something.
fine.
Yeah, it's easy for me to shut it off.
Other people binge watch it till midnight
Yeah.
and go, this is not working.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm disappointed they're not here today because I wanted to be like, let's go.
I want to share one little thing
Yeah.
with you. My grandmother would stand at her kitchen sink and wash her dishes, and she always would feed all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Would come together and she fed us all, and then everybody went home and left her with a mess. And she said, I stand at my kitchen sink and I wash my dishes and I pray and I pray and I pray as I'm washing my dishes. So dishwashing is never a chore. She said, I look forward to it. It's just me and the Lord. So now, as I'm alone and I don't have many dishes, but I don't mind washing dishes.
It's a perspective shift.
I want to go home.
I know. You know there's nanas in the over there. You can have a banana.
But I just want to go home.
I have one more thing for the ladies and
Yeah,
then we'll
I
go
want to
home.
go home too.
Okay.
Can I go home too?
So then with
Pretty soon.
the beauty of these
But
like
we can't
deciding
go at my home.
No, I won't go to your home. I'll go to my home. Someday I'll come to your home.
You can't.
I can't.
No, because Papa and Papa is going to come.
Oh, okay. Another day I'll come to your house.
But this will take one day to do it.
Okay.
Because it's very far.
I know how far it is.
'Cause
You know I've been to your house before?
it's this big.
It is.
And you say that, and having a load of dishes afterwards is why I don't have people at my house. I feel like that was for me.
But
Anyway, so when we choose to be exceptional, the other thing we can do is all of those like pain points that we like feel in our daily lives, like the dishes are too much, or I don't like how I look in the mirror, or I have diabetes. When we say I'm going to improve those because of I have to be exceptional, now we have full motivation for improving those things that are painful to us. That's the whole plan, and it is beautiful because it's in the Word.
Mama.
That's all I got.
That
the
was
last
good.
thing.
I got 2 pages of notes.
Perfect.
Sit right there and talk.